Everyone wants to be authentic, but what does that even mean? In a world obsessed with external validation, people often mistake societal approval for self-awareness. Carl Jung believed that true authenticity isn't about fitting into expectations. It's about aligning with your inner wisdom. But most people don't look within. They search for themselves in comparisons, trends, and approval from others. The more they chase identity externally, the more disconnected they feel. Personal freedom starts when you stop seeking who you are in others and start exploring the depths of your own consciousness. But why is it so hard to look inward? Because facing yourself means confronting your shadow, your contradictions, and the uncomfortable truths buried in your unconscious mind. Most people avoid this, masking discomfort with distractions, achievements, or personas designed to be socially acceptable. This is why so many struggle with self-expression. They aren't expressing their true self, but a version sculpted to be liked. The more you betray your inner truth, the harder it becomes to feel whole. Authenticity isn't about being different. It's about being real. So how do you reclaim your authenticity? Journaling, introspection, and psychological integration are essential. Ask yourself, am I making choices based on my truth or on fear of judgment? Meditation and deep self-inquiry can help strip away the noise of conditioning. If you feel a persistent inner conflict, it might be a sign you're living out of alignment with your true self. And to fully understand why this happens, we need to explore the role of the unconscious mind in shaping identity, which is exactly where we're headed next. The role of the unconscious in shaping identity. Most people believe they know who they are until they realize how much of their identity has been shaped by their unconscious mind. Carl Jung argued that the ego, the part of us that thinks it's in control, is only a fraction of who we truly are. Beneath it lies a vast, hidden world of beliefs, fears, and conditioned responses that silently shape our behaviors. If you've ever felt trapped in patterns you can't explain or struggled with self-acceptance, chances are your unconscious mind is running the show. This is where things get tricky. Your shadow, the parts of you that were rejected, suppressed, or deemed unacceptable, plays a massive role in shaping how you present yourself. If you grew up believing that vulnerability was weakness, you may unconsciously avoid deep emotional connections. If you were praised only for achievement, you might base your self-worth on external success rather than inner wholeness. These unconscious narratives silently control your self-expression, limiting your personal freedom and keeping you from living in alignment with your true self. But here's the good news. Once you bring these unconscious patterns into self-awareness, they lose their grip on you. Introspection, shadow work, and deep psychological integration allow you to reclaim the parts of yourself that have been buried. Ask yourself, what emotions or traits do I avoid expressing? What patterns keep repeating in my life? When you explore these questions, you step into the powerful process of individuation, the journey of becoming your whole, authentic self. In this process, it's not just about self-improvement, it's about self-actualization. Let's dive into what that really means. Individuation, the process of becoming whole. Becoming your authentic self isn't about adding something new. It's about reclaiming what was lost. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the journey of integrating all parts of the self, including the aspects hidden in the unconscious mind. Most people think of growth as accumulating knowledge, success, or status. But true personal evolution happens when you stop running from yourself and start embracing your shadow, vulnerabilities, and contradictions. This is how you move from fragmented identity to psychological wholeness. But individuation isn't easy. It requires self-inquiry, courage, and a willingness to face discomfort. Most people avoid this because confronting your shadow means questioning the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime suppressing. Why do you react so strongly to criticism? Why do you seek external validation? Why does the idea of failure scare you? These aren't random thoughts. They are clues leading to the unconscious conditioning shaping your life. Until you integrate these aspects, you'll always feel a sense of inner conflict, as if part of you is pulling in one direction while another resists. So how do you begin this process? Shadow work, journaling, and deep introspection are key. Write down the traits in others that trigger you. These often reflect unacknowledged parts of yourself. Pay attention to recurring emotional patterns in your life. They reveal where integration is needed. And most importantly, practice self-compassion. Individuation isn't about reaching a final state of enlightenment. It's about continuously bringing more of yourself into alignment. And once you begin to integrate your inner world, the next challenge is learning to balance it with the outer world, which is exactly where we're headed next. Balancing the inner and outer worlds. One of the biggest challenges in personal growth is finding balance between inner truth and external reality. Carl Jung believed that individuation isn't about retreating into isolation, but about integrating your true self into the world. Too much focus on the outer world, and you lose your authenticity, conforming to societal expectations. Too much focus on the inner world, and you risk disconnecting from reality. The key is learning to live in alignment, where your self-expression is an extension of your inner wisdom, not just a reaction to external pressures. But balance isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and adaptation. Think about your daily life. Do you find yourself constantly seeking external validation, adjusting who you are to fit different social situations? Or do you struggle to express yourself, feeling disconnected from others? Neither extreme is healthy. Self-awareness allows you to notice when you're losing your center. It helps you engage with the world without compromising your identity. True balance isn't about pleasing others. It's about holding space for both your inner needs and outer responsibilities. So how do you cultivate this balance? Mindfulness and self-inquiry are powerful tools. Before making a decision, ask yourself, am I acting from my truth, or am I reacting to expectations? Set boundaries that protect your psychological depth while still allowing for growth and connection. And most importantly, give yourself permission to evolve. Authenticity isn't about rigidly clinging to a fixed identity. It's about being adaptable while staying true to your core self. And this brings us to the final realization. Authenticity is not a destination. It's a lifelong journey. Authenticity as a journey, not a destination. Most people think of authenticity as something you either have or don't. But Carl Jung saw it differently. It's a process, not a fixed state. As you evolve, so does your understanding of who you truly are. What felt authentic to you 5 years ago might not feel the same today. That's because authenticity isn't about rigidly holding onto an identity. It's about continuous self-discovery, psychological depth, and integration. The moment you think you've arrived, life presents a new challenge, a new layer of the unconscious mind to uncover. The mistake many people make is assuming that once they find themselves, the journey is over. But true self-awareness means embracing the fact that you are always in motion, always shifting, always growing. Personal evolution isn't linear. It's cyclical. Sometimes, you'll feel deeply aligned. Other times, you'll question everything. That's not failure. That's proof that you're engaging with life on a deeper level. Psychological integration isn't about becoming a finished product. It's about becoming more comfortable with the duality and complexity of who you are. So how do you stay connected to your true self in an ever-changing world? Reflection, self-inquiry, and personal freedom are essential. Stay curious about your own transformation. Ask yourself, what parts of me feel outdated? What new aspects of myself am I discovering? The more you lean into change rather than resist it, the more whole you become. Authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being real, even in the uncertainty. And once you accept that, life stops feeling like a struggle for identity and starts feeling like an adventure in self-expression, meaning, and purpose.